tree. I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. A step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Greetings, Glitter Gang. Happy Wednesday. I got a bunch of stuff in the mail this week, so I thought I would do kind of a haul, kind of a product demo, kind of a side-by-side comparison of some markers. You're probably not going to learn anything, so I'm just going to throw that out there. But I did get a cute coloring book, and I did get some alcohol markers, cost $1. and that supposedly are just as good or close to just as good as COPIC sketch markers, which I believe are the most expensive markers in the world and are $8 a marker. So if they are, then they're 13% of the price of a COPIC sketch marker. So I guess we're going to find out. So let's do that. So that's what I'm going to do. I have this coloring book. We're going to color some pages. I'll do one with these markers and I'll do one with Copics, and we'll just see how well they do. I have to clear some space on my desk. I have some stuff to haul too. Look, Mr. Penn makes French curves. So look, I finally have French curves. So after all this time, I finally have French curves. So here we go. So this is from Mr. Penn, which is the company that makes my drafting tape. So they donate a lot of money to schools for their art programs. So that's why I like them. But yeah, so we finally have French curves now. And everything that I'm gonna I was gonna say everything that I'm gonna show, I'm gonna link down below, but I think I did not link some stuff. I think I did not link the paper phenomenon stuff. So I'm just gonna go over that really quick. But paper phenomenon also sent me some paper. They sent me Ladies Who Lunch and Marianne Bright, and she texted me, in case you want to do Christmas in July again. That's why she sent the Marianne Bright. So I was like, well, maybe we will do Christmas in July again, because holy cow, guys, July is in 20 days. It's in 20 days. It's in 3 weeks. It's July. So like, that's so soon. That's so soon. Why? Why is it so soon? Oh my gosh, I can't take it. What is going on? Why does it feel like time passes like inexorably slowly, but also so fast this year? I don't know at any given moment what is up. Does anyone else have this problem? Where they don't know which end is up? Or is that just me? It's probably not just me. It's probably not. I can't be the only one with this problem. All right. I have fixed the links below. It'll probably take a minute to show up, but now the links for the 2 paper collections will be down there. So I tried to like pre-link everything I was going to use today so that the description of the video would be useful. So we'll see how successful I was at doing that. All right. Now, where am I? Okay. That's what she said. She said that she said that I was going to do a junk journal like Janice Freeman's. Without asking me, or I presume Janice Freeman, if it was okay if I copied Janice, or if I wanted to do a junk journal. So, what can you do? I mean, forget it. So yeah, all right, so let's say hi to everybody who's here. This is a sneaky show. This is not a normal show, so it's not happening on a Thursday. And we are going to do I'm probably going to break it up into a few different sections. So let me just do the haul part of it first, and show you everything I got, and then I'll do the marker section of it as a separate recording, and I'll just put it all on YouTube is what I'll do. So all right, so hello to Sandra, who was the first to find the sneaky show, followed by Gretchen. So greetings. Lori was quick too. Jean is here for a sneaky class, and it's her first live. So welcome, Jean. Barbara Jean's here as well. Priya is here wondering if it's Thursday because I don't know what month it is. Priya doesn't know what day it is. You know, that's just how it is now. That's just how it is now. Jill is here. And Pam. Pam says, I'm not the only one who can't get a handle on how time passes. So, all right. So, let's do a little mini haul. I don't normally do hauls, but whatever. I got a bunch of stuff. My desk is covered in it. Might as well talk about it. So, the first thing that I got are the samples of the acrylic. So, these are here. And so we're now at a point where we can take pre-orders for these, and I'll talk more about this on Thursday, but we will be able to take pre-orders for these to make sure everyone who wants one gets one out of the first round of manufacturing. And we're looking at, from when I submit the pre-orders, it should be about 6 weeks. Now, do not consider that number to be chiseled in stone. As you guys know, this year has just been wild. So 6 weeks, everyone feels confident that it's gonna be 6 weeks, but if it's not 6 weeks, it's not 6 weeks, you know what I mean? So we have 2 fonts, okay, and we have the font that was originally used on the one that was sent to me. No, we don't. This is the first font. This is the first one. See, I wanted something that wouldn't get lost, because this one gets lost on my desk only because my desk is blue now. So, in terms of color, I wanted something bright. This is a fluorescent neon pink orange. You can see how some directions, some angles it looks orange, some directions, some angles it looks like magenta. So it's really bright now. And we have 2 font options we're looking at. This one. This font is the font that I use for all the announcements. So you might recognize it from that. So whenever I post that we have a class or anything like that, or the font that I use for the banner in the Facebook group, that's this font. That's what it is. And then this one, we weren't sure how easy it was to read, so there's also this one. I'll probably take a vote on Thursday and see which one we are gonna do. So yeah, so that's the 2 of them, but they're bright now. So we'll talk about this more Thursday, which is tomorrow. So we'll talk about this more tomorrow, but we are gonna be able to take pre-orders for this soon. So that's here. Then I got French curves. Every time I draw something curved and I'm using like rolls of tape to make curves, I always think to myself, why don't I have a set of French curves? And then I never remember to order them, but I finally did. So these are from Mr. Penn. Mr. Penn makes the drafting tape that I use to temporarily adhere things to my page. So, and I like them because they donate a lot of money to school art projects. So I have French curves now. This set was not expensive. I think it was maybe less than $10. So I linked it below as well. And I gotta show you, I'm gonna show you a picture of Tiny Cat because I think I've solved all of my Tiny Cat problems. Okay, so you know how Tiny Cat and I had a fight over whether or not she could sleep on this pile of boxes that I need to get into. Some of you were maybe here for that, where she was like, "Rah!" when I had to move her off a box. So I felt bad about taking away her box tower that she was napping on all the time, and I found IKEA makes inserts for X-Bites and Calyxes that are cat beds. So look at her. This is from right now. This is a picture of her right now. It's hard to see because she's a black cat, but she's in there in her little cat bed. And it's about the same height as her old box tower. It's a little bit lower, but it's about the same height. So she is totally loving it. She just sleeps there. She was sleeping in there when I got up here. She was already there. So she has claimed it as her space. So I think we're all good. Priya says, I would love that bed. Will Tiny share? Maybe. Maybe if we ask Tiny really nicely. All right, so I got a coloring book when I bought the markers for adults relaxation, which I definitely need. But it is cute animals sitting on coffee cups is what it is. So, and it also is recipes for coffees. So every other page is a recipe and every other page is cute animals with coffee cups. So I figured we'd color some of these today. Again, I linked it down below if you want one of your very own. But we'll pick some colors to color today. This is my tablet. I didn't buy it this week. All right, so the other thing that I did this week is I took all the ColorMates Smooth and Silky, the new colors, and I got them all in the, all cut down to 8.5 by 11. So I'm on my way, and all labeled with their color names. So I'm on my way to having the swatch book updated. Is the swatch book updated? No, it's not. So is it on its way to being updated? Yes, progress has been made. So as many of you already know, ColorMates Smooth and Silky is the brand of cardstock that I use for all my projects now. And so that I have something that I can consistently say, this is the color we're using, this is where you can get it, like, you know, whatever. And so I'm updating the swatch book because they came out, like, they expanded their color range by more than double. So they more than doubled their color range since I started using them. So I'm trying to keep my swatch book up to date. So I've got all the new colors. I've got them labeled. The only thing I have to do is I have to tape over the labels so that I don't like peel them up when I'm turning the pages so that they'll last. And then I have to punch all their holes and stick them in the book. But look how many new colors there are. There's so many new colors all across the spectrum, although they did most heavily with yellow and gold. But they all added a bunch of purple. They had literally no purple before, none. Not a single purple. So they did add 3 purples, which is nice. All right, so this is on its way. I'm working on it. I've been having to reorganize my craft room to make room for all the additional colors. All right, so here's Marian Bright. I have 2 paper packs. Yeah, don't they look? They do look so much better without the plastic packaging cover. The colors are, you can see the colors a lot better. I have 2 physical packs of Marian Bright. I probably will do a Christmas countdown album in July because I did really enjoy doing that last year, and I thought it's a really useful thing to have your Christmas album ready before Christmas so that after the holidays you can just put your photos in it. You don't have to deal with it when you're like Christmased out, you know. So think about what kind of album you might want to do. Do you want to do a countdown to Christmas album that's like, you know, 25 pages like we did last year? Or do you want to just do something else? You know, we got to think it through. So let's look at this paper, which I probably will use. And Kathy told me she still has some of these physically. She has a box of them. So, but I linked the digital one below, but she told me she still has a few of them physical if you want to follow along. So, and this would be I would do it as a YouTube project as well. Just like I did last year where it was a free YouTube project, I would probably do that again. Probably won't do a junk journal just because I'm not like very good at those. But I will do something cute. We'll do something cute. We could do something that's got mix and match vibes to it. So it has kind of junk journal vibes without being like, while still being a photo album. I'm sure we could figure it out. I could do like I did my travel journal from way back in the day. Okay, so this is Merry and Bright by Paper Phenomenon. And then here are the papers. Linda's saying no, no, no. Are you saying no, no, no to Countdown to Christmas? Or are you saying no, no, no to junk journals? Or no, no, no to buying more paper? Ooh, plaid. But yeah, I think, oh, this is pretty. The lights. I like the lights. Cute. Very cute. This is really cute. I like the little sketches. The little sketchy, like doodly looking people. No to Countdown, just a normal album. Well, maybe we'll alternate years. Like if this is a thing we do, we can do some of them Countdown and some of them normal. Because I know not everyone likes the stress of trying to figure out something to put on every single day. Because maybe they didn't do anything for 3 days related to Christmas, and now what do they do? So maybe we'll just do a normal Christmas album, but it'll still just be done before Christmas, and you just fill in. This is really pretty. I actually really like gold and white. Gold, white, and red are the colors I decorate with for Christmas. I would be totally fine with a gold, white, and red Christmas collection. And if someone wanted to make that for me, I would be totally okay with it. I would not complain. This is a cute collection. There's a nice... Priya says a 2020 countdown might just be pictures of our family in PJs. Oh no! That's fair. Like, we have no idea what's going to be going down in December. So maybe I'll just do a normal book, and then if you have pictures, good for you. If you have pictures, good for you. And if you don't, you can just include pictures of all your favorite bottles of wine you drank during the holidays. Because it was so stressful. See, look at this. I like this. Like red with gold. So it could be like, this was my favorite, these are my favorite 25 bottles of wine I drank in December. Let me tell you all about them. This is my favorite pints of ice cream that I ate in December in my PJs while watching the Hallmark Channel and crying. If I'm doing a wine album, it needs to have more than 25 pages. This is my ultimate page. I want a whole collection that looks like this. Oh my gosh, this is so perfect. I love this. This is what my Christmas ornaments look like. This is what my my actual Christmas ornaments aren't out because they're all glass. They're all vintage glass ornaments, and so because of the cats, they're all in storage. So I haven't had my ornaments out in a while, but this is exactly what all my ornaments look like. They're all red glass and they're painted with gold. It's Wednesday. I'm doing a sneaky show, we call them, or surprise show, where I'm just going to be in my craft room for a while. So I turn on the camera and you can chill with me and we can chit chat, and maybe you have projects you want to do, or maybe you just want to chat with your fellow crafters. Whatever, drop in, drop out. You're not going to be missing anything from any ongoing projects. So you don't, you know, if you're following along with the Catch a Tag Remastered album, for example, this is all the same collection. It is huge, isn't it? It is huge. So here's the embellishments. Nice. I like the letters to Santa. Very cute. And the cards. So Kathy puts a ton of patterns in her collections because not only does she do all of those papers, which it's like 48 designs, but then she also puts designs on the back of the cards as well. So there's tons and tons and tons of designs in her collections. Tons of them. So she does a great job. She works really hard and she puts a lot of really useful stuff. I'm going to get one of my big 12 by 12 bags and transfer these collections over. So what I do as I go, and what I do when I get 2 packs is I find the matching papers and I put them back to back so that when I flip through, I see both sides without having to turn papers over. So, and one of these, see this one? So what I mean by that is I put them like this so that when I turn them, I don't have to, I can just go flip, flip, flip. You know, I don't have to, you know, flip it over and then look at the back when I'm going through trying to find something. And then you do, Chaka says that you get even more with the digital collections, and that's true. That's true. The digital collections have tons of stuff in them. A lot of them have SVGs, like, and print and cut files for doing print and cut with the embellishments. So lots of good stuff in the digital collections. And she did send me digital of Project 365 in case I wanted to use it for the Hometown Seasons album, which will be that album designed to capture a year in a life. So I'm going to look at that. That album is coming probably in 2021 at this rate, but that's okay. That's okay. I'd rather be slower than I think I'm going to be and still get everything done and do all of my decorating and everything. I don't like to rush. And sometimes that means that if I plan 4 projects for a year, I only get 3 done. But, you know, then I get 3 projects done that I'm really happy with. So, you know. So, yeah. So, okay. So I just go through and I put them back to back like this. That's what I do. And then whenever I use a page, I move the other one to the back of the stack as I'm working so that I don't keep reusing the same designs. Now I do end up continuing to use the same designs because I use the scraps so much, as you know. But and like I said, this, oh, excuse me, hiccup. This one you can still get, even though it's Christmas. So we'll do Christmas in July. We won't do a Christmas countdown. We'll just do a normal book. One pack might be enough, Kimberly. If we don't do like a Gigantor album. I'm trying to think of what we should do. I mean, I guess I don't need to know today because it's not July yet. I still have time to come up with a plan. But yeah, we'll just always do Christmas in July. That's what we'll do. I like this paper a lot. So that'll just be our thing. We'll do a July project, low-key, chill July project, and do Christmas so that we already have Christmas taken care of each year. And just, yeah, Gretchen says I have tons of Christmas paper I can use. Yes, we all have tons of, I mean, come on. I probably have more Christmas paper than anything else. Oh, where do I get my 12 by 12 bags? I get my 12 by 12 bags from Uline, but the Uline sells in really large quantities, like 1,000. So if you just want 100 bags, I have also gotten bags from clearbags.com. They sell in packs of like 100, and their bags are fantastic. They're even better than Uline's bags. So like, you're not losing out by getting them from Clear Bags and getting the smaller quantity, because their bags are super nice. So I recommend, if you're like, just, you don't need to ship anything and you just are using it to store your stuff, to go to Clear Bags, because they have every kind of size you could want. And for smaller bags, like the ones I keep my scraps and embellishments in, I recommend 5x7. And the reason I recommend 5x7 is because 4x6 cards will fit in 5x7 bags. So that's the size. So get 13 by 13 or 14 by 14 is even more useful. 14 by 14. This is a 14 by 14 bag. And so 14 by 14 is a little more useful because it can hold a thicker stack. So if you have a lot of one collection, it's really helpful. And then a 5x7 for embellishments, cards, scraps, tiny scraps, that sort of thing. All right, so that's Marion Bright, which, like I said, she still has some physical, if you want physical, and then clear bags. So clear, like see-through, CLEAR, and then bags. So clear bags is where I would recommend getting bags. That's where I got bags before we started needing to ship. And then she also sent me Ladies Who Lunch, which I think is digital only now, which I haven't seen this one yet. I know she used it for National Scrapbook Day, and I saw, I think Kay Fisher in the Glitter Gang group, she used it for her National Scrapbook Day Project X Folio downsize. So I upsized a page from the Half the Fun album and made it into a large folio, like a 9x12 folio for National Scrapbook Day, and I showed you how to do that. And then Kay used the instructions from that video to reverse engineer and make it smaller, and she used Ladies Who Lunch for that. All right. So here's Ladies Who Lunch. So I'm gonna sift them together at the same time. So here's the front page, and then here's the back of it, which is like just a beautiful tea stained sheet. Ooh, this is kind of like a watercolor leopard print. And then I always like, if you put dots on and ink splatters on top of like an old ledger or receipt, then that's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. Turquoise brick. Oh, Gretchen has corrected me that according to her shop, there is still physical of Ladies Who Lunch as well. So you don't have to get digital. Physical is also available. I like how it's vintage and it has that vintage flair, but it's not totally muted. Pink and gray. I love pink and gray as a combination. It looks so good. We're doing pink and gray in the with the En Vogue collection in box set remastered. This pink and gray plaid is too cute. Too cute. I do like brick. After camera and photography related imagery, I like stuff like wood, brick, whatever for versatility. Mom printed her first digital paper collection today, the On Vogue collection. Nice. Nice. I haven't printed mine yet, but I had a genius moment. You know how all the stuff from my kitchen always ends up in the craft room? All right, I got to show you something. I'm going to take a picture of it. Okay. This is, do you see these wire racks? These are pot filing racks. And so what they're meant for is you put them in your kitchen cabinets and you stand your pots up in them so that your pots aren't all like stored inside of each other. But I put them side by side and they're storing my 13 by 19 paper. So they're lid racks, pot lid racks. Sometimes they're called lid racks or pot filing racks. And they're meant to go in your cabinets and you put pots in them. But I have two side by side and they're not tipping over at all. Okay, so it's no problem. Like the weight of it, I have I have like 6 or 8 stacks of paper in there. So if you are like, how do I store all of my paper? Because before I had all my different 13 by 19 papers like in a pile on my floor. Quatrefoil. I love quatrefoil. Sorry. This pattern is called quatrefoil and I love it. I had them all on the floor in stacks shoved under my bookshelves, which meant I had to like drag them all out from under my bookshelves anytime I wanted to print. And like I always was having to move one to get to like the one underneath it or whatever. And so it works great. Works great. This is a cute collection. It's like where it really differs from On Vogue is it's definitely more freeform vintage or whatever, but also it's more modern. Like On Vogue is very like French fashion during the era of like Coco Chanel, and this is just a little bit more like these glasses are a little bit more modern. So this one's more modern. But they both have pink and gray. I wonder if we could mix them together. More quatrefoil. And Gretchen says, you mean you're not supposed to just throw all your lids in a roasting pan in the back of your cabinet? And Monica says, I have 2 pot lid racks under my cabinets and no one ever uses them for pot lids, so might reuse them now. And Kathryn says, most of the kitchen organization in my house is in my craft room. Yeah, because I'm always stealing stuff from downstairs. Oops. Now we're getting into blue section, which is nice. But first coffee. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I brought my coffee up here. But I'm almost out. But it's in my watercolor flamingo mug. Who gets new pans? I loved Photobomb. That's probably my favorite still. That I loved Photobomb. I would be totally happy with a Photobomb too that mixed in with the original Photobomb so you could use both digital collections. Kind of like how Simple Stories has done Say Cheese like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they all have the same color palette so you can mix and match them. I would be great with that. I would be great with that. All right. I like the little geotags with a cocktail, a cupcake, a coffee. Cute. Oh, scissors, lipstick. Cute. Okay. Cinderella is proof that a new pair of shoes can change your life. I could give up shopping, but I'm no quitter. Ah. And then we've got embellishments. We've got the coffee house pricing sheet. Coffee cup. Cute. Ah, the folders. That's beautiful with the yellow, very yellow leaning, kind of neutral background and the blue. Yellow and blue makes a really vibrant contrast. Wake up and glow. Nice, nice. Ah, I like things that look like little stacks. I've always liked things that look like little stacks. All right. I don't like dark roast though. I like I drink a lot of city roast is what I like the best, but I'll go to medium, but I don't like dark roast. Although, yeah, I like when stuff's all on top of each other. Exactly. All right, so let me get another bag. And then maybe that'll be it. And the next video, I'll talk about the markers. Dark roast is usually great for iced coffee. I don't drink a lot of iced coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee. I drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning that I will then drink for the entire day. For that stack of paper, if you bought 2 packs, I think her packs are 25. So if you bought 2 packs, it'd be 50. I think. Let me check. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know that the digital collection's like 35. So digital collection's 35. Or somewhere in the zone of 35. So let me check. Let me click paper collections. Okay, so Ladies Who Lunch is 33. So 66 if you bought all of them. But $66, that's like 100. It's like, no, it's like 50 sheets or more. 50 sheets or more. So there's a lot. And then, oh, she still has some flight 2715. She still has Remember the Magic. She has, okay. All right. And then the digital paper collections are for Ladies Who Lunch, it's 33, and for Merry and Bright, it's 25. And how much is Merry and Bright physical? Merry and Bright physical is 25. Okay, so Merry and Bright's 25 a pack, and Ladies Who Lunch is 33 a pack. So this whole stack, if you bought it, would be 66 plus 50, 116. Leanne, yes, with a digital copy you have endless times you can print out. Yeah, you can print it as many times as you want. paper phenomenon, and I linked it in the video description. So if you're on a phone or other mobile device, you may have to switch from the chat view to the video description to see, and then you can click the links. Yes, when you get digital, Shaka and Ellen are saying when you get digital, you get extra sheets. Or so yeah, she does include extra stuff in the digital collections. And if you don't have a 12 by 12 printer, you can get, a lot of times, just contact a local print shop, like a local printer, and they can print them for you. Okay. So you don't have to print them yourself if you don't need to. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recording break. And let's talk about these markers, because I'm intrigued and I haven't used them yet. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So thanks so much for watching my little haul. And in my next video, I will show you these markers, and I'll color one page with these markers, and I'll color one page with COPICs, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison. So I'll be back. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Greetings, Glitter Gang. I recently watched a video by the YouTuber Jazza, Jazza, and in it he bought every kind of alcohol marker in the world he could find, basically, that would ship to Australia. And I think he said he spent something like $16,000 on alcohol markers. And he did like a March Madness bracket of all the markers he bought, and at the end it came down to these markers by this company Ohuhu and COPIC sketch markers. COPIC sketch markers won, which is unsurprising. They are the most expensive markers in the world. They are considered to be the best markers in the world in terms of alcohol markers. So it's not a surprise that they won, but it was a surprise that they were up against not another, because he did all of the COPICs. So COPIC Chow got their own line, COPIC Original got their own line, COPIC Sketch got their own line. So they didn't go at the end head to head with another COPIC. They were up against these markers. These markers cost about $1 each. COPICs cost about $8 each. So I was super curious. So let me show you, let me get my COPICs too. All right. So these are my COPICs. They are in a custom marker holder that fits inside of an Expedite that Monica and I designed together, and she sells them. That's Monica. She's in the chat now. Pear Tree Treasures is her store. So the marker thingy, I know. They're in our marker thingy. So this is the COPIC sketch marker holder. And when you put it in the Expedite, you put it in like this, so the markers are on their sides, which is the way that you are supposed to store COPICs. All right, so in the Ohuhu, they come in this bag. So they come like this. Now, right off the bat, I will say this bag is probably not the best way. And they also come with this thing, which is for you to put behind the paper you're coloring on so you don't bleed to the next page. So this is in the bag as well. All right. So the way they came just thrown in the bag any which way. So I kind of grouped them into color groups as best I could, but it's just 4 holes, so they're all kind of just hanging out, you know. So, all right. But let's talk about packaging. So with packaging, with the Ohuhu markers, they are round, okay? They have their color name and color number on the end, on both ends. They do not have their color name on the barrel, so you would have to look at an end to see which color it is. They do have these anti-roll brakes on the markers, so even though they are round, they won't roll around your desk and drive you crazy. That's why COPICs are oval, so they won't roll around your desk. If you've ever wondered why they're that shape. I will say that the packaging does feel and look a little cheaper on the Ohuhu markers versus the COPICs, but again, we're talking about a $1 marker versus an $8 marker, and packaging is where you can save the most money. One thing I'm curious about is how well the end matches the actual color we get, because with other cheap markers, that's part of the reason COPICs are so expensive, is that this plastic is specially dyed to be the exact color of the ink, and that's apparently a very complicated and expensive process. So with a lot of cheaper markers, these don't really match like perfectly, but we'll see. And then I also got their skin tone pack. So up here you see this is my COPIC skin tones. And then here are the Ohuhu skin tones. It seems like Ohuhu's skewing lighter overall. And they did send another one of these plastic sheets. So I have 2 of those. They do seem to skew lighter, but that all depends on how accurate these ends are. So if we look at the sheet, it does kind of, I mean, it's not totally light, but it does seem like I have a little bit more in the COPICs, more variety. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take out all these plastic things. So now let's color something. Do you want to color something with the COPICs first or with the Ohuhu first? Well, if you want to do the COPICs first, type a C in the chat. And if you want to see the Ohuhu markers first, type an O in the chat. I don't know if Ohuhu is how it's pronounced, but I mean, I have no idea how it's pronounced, so. And I'm just gonna put the COPICs to the side because I will literally die of shock if you guys want to see the COPICs first. Okay. So, what a surprise. The Ohuhu are winning. Now, caveats. I'm not that great at coloring. Like, I like coloring, but I'm not that good at it. So, don't consider this to be like a marker tutorial. You know what I mean? Like, best marker practices. Ohuhu is much more fun to say than COPIC, for sure. Okay. I lost my lid after, oh, here it is. Okay. I don't know how thin this paper is, so I'm gonna protect my mat. And, all right, here we go. So, oh, should I put their plastic underneath to protect my basil mat? Theirs is kind of, no, I'll just use the basil mat. You know what? If it's already kind of dirty and gross, so I'll live. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to move a little bit more towards the right so that the shadow from the bag isn't covering the whole thing. And then let's decide on where the sun is in this photo, so, or in this coloring book, so that will tell us where shadows, how shadows go. So like, for example, if this is the sun, okay, if this is the sun, then we'll have the most highlights here and the most shadows here. If this is the sun, we'll have the most highlights here and the most shadows here. You know, if this is the sun, we'll have the most highlights here and the most shadows over here. So kind of try always when you color or do any kind of art, you got to know where the sun is or where your light is, you know. So I'm just going to make this, the water bottle, the sun. Okay, so the light's coming this way. So that way we know that we'll do more shadows like over here. And let's start with leaves. Let me get a scratch pad. And I'll start with the leaves. I'm going to pull the yellow greens versus the straight greens. And oh wow, okay, there's a lot of yellow green. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, all right, and then the ones that we have left are 173, 172, and 43 and 42, which are a big jump. So I wonder what's going on with those. So I'm going to put them on their own line. And we'll do 42, 43. I don't know if they plan on expanding this line. Those are quite a bit darker. And then these two are quite a bit lighter, and they're 172 and 173. So yeah, they're quite a bit lighter. Okay. 172 and 173. All right, so looking at these, you know, we kind of are, basically what we need to do is we want to pick, are we going to do the, like the brighter, greener greens, the cooler greens, or are we going to do like the more yellow greens? You know, they're all yellow greens, but like these are the most yellow over here. So like we would use GY7, 4, and 5. Maybe, yeah, GY7, 4, and 5, I think, are the ones that'll work. All right. 4, 5, and 7 are the three where we'll start. All right. And I'll put the other ones back in their bag for now, and let's see how I do at coloring. Okay. So, all right. Okay, so I am bleeding outside the lines a little bit, but not too bad. You know, that's a function of paper as much as anything else. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of bleeding, but that, again, it could be the paper. And 7. Yeah, a lot of bleeding with these. And then just to be fair and see what's the situation in terms of paper, I actually am gonna pull the sheet for the COPICs, and I'm gonna try some COPICs real quick just to see how much bleeding we're getting. Because I would rather know sooner rather than later if it's the paper. Or if it's my own technique. Let's not just blame the paper when we could blame past Kathryn. What is this? 4? Yeah, 4 is the... Oops, chisel. But you can see that they are staying put where I put them when I put them on my desk. So they are good. They are bleeding through. Look how beautiful that is on the back. That watercolor, nice watercolor look. Okay. So let's do some. Let me pull some yellow green. Some greens here. From the COPICs. Maybe we'll switch back and forth. Okay, so it's definitely the paper, at least partially. So, because I am getting quite a bit of bleeding with the Copics as well. You know, it's a adult coloring book that costs less than $10. It's not a sketch pad for alcohol markers or a marker pad, so that's not totally surprising. Okay, but yeah, it's definitely the paper. These markers, these are, well, this is a Copic and it has a brush tip, but yes, the Ohuhu have a brush tip and that's what I was using. All right. So what I will say is, the other tip is a chisel, just like on a Copic. So coloring with them side by side like this, I'll say, of course, the Copics are better at blending, much better at blending. Now, are they 8 times better at blending? You know, that's the question we have to ask ourselves. See, I also have a better color variety with the Copics, but you know, I can add some darker in here, blend it out. Oh, I bled through. So it's good that I took this out because the paper is going to bleed all the way through. So yeah, what we're definitely getting better, easier blending from the Copics. I don't think it's 8 times easier, you know. So I think what I will say is, if you've been curious about coloring with alcohol markers, wanted to learn, you know, what's all the hype with Copic, whatever, that this could be a good place to start. But, you know, see how much the Copic's bled? And this is the Ohuhu. So Copic is bleeding quite a bit as well. So that's not a function. That's a function of the paper. That's not a function of the marker. So hold on. I'm just going to write what we're dealing with so I don't forget. But you know, this is nice. Sure, it blends so much, it gives almost like a watercolor look. this doesn't quite, you can still see lines of demarcation for the colors, but it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. All right, so so I think that we're doing okay. I think that we're doing okay. All right, I'm gonna set this to the side, the Copic one, and we're gonna keep working on our greenery. The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George as a book suggestion. Is it cute? So the amount that I'm having to blend is definitely oversaturating the paper for sure. And I think I'm gonna get more of that on this one. But that's okay. That's okay. $1 marker. $1 marker. But yeah, if I want to blend it totally smooth so that there's no lines at all, I do have to make a pretty big pool of ink. So I don't know. I mean, again, this paper is kind of cheap, so now, this is a function of, I think, like, the more talented you are, which I am not very good at coloring at all, as I've mentioned, that, you know, the less blending, because the better you'll be at putting the colors down in the first place. Well, actually, I was gonna say, but see, this one pooled so much, these two combined in the space between. So actually, maybe I am wrong. Well, I definitely think we have a little bit more bleeding on the one than the other, but not too bad. Not too bad. I'm gonna switch off of Y13 to GY42 in the Ohuhu markers and see if that helps. I think my initial color may be a little too dark. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to, if we really want to do some G1. Which one do I want? 4, I think. Yeah, I think we need to run some experiments with a thicker paper. I mean, it's looking cute, so it's not like it's not bad. Switching to a slightly lighter, darker green helped for sure. But yeah, it's definitely harder to blend. Yeah, should I do, I'm gonna start an ASMR channel where I just color. Hi, I'm Kathryn from Kathryn Scraps. Today we're gonna color sloths with markers I found on Amazon. No. Candy's like, no. All right. We're doing all right. We're doing okay. We're looking fairly cute. In the end, we're probably going to like the back better. Okay. All right, so I think I need to do a little bit of green just right up on here. All right, so now we've got that. All right. All right, what color so we've done our greens. Let's see. So let's do the yellow to go in our flowers. And I'm just gonna pick a random yellow. And lay it down. I'm going to go based off of what they say. So I'm going to choose just based on the caps. And we'll see how close things are to their caps. Barbara Jean wants to send me some things to color for my new coloring ASMR channel. Or you mean like to print to test the markers? All right. Okay, so yellow blended really nicely. Let's see, what color should we do our background? Blue? Let's just go with the chisel. Da, da, da. All right. Okay, so that was BG6. So we're just gonna find something in the BG family that I can blend out. Sure, let's go with this one. Oh, see, now this one's a lot darker than it appears based on its lid. All right, so BG4. So here's an example. This is BG6. It's even quite a bit darker than BG, or this is BG8 right here. That's this like edge right here. It looks lighter, but it's not. That happens sometimes with less expensive markers. So the question to color and send back. Okay, so let's see how we can blend out this, if we can blend out this edge. To color and send back. Yeah, I think we may have messed up here, and by we I mean you guys, of course. And where you messed up was in trusting me to color anything and have it look cute. Since I'm not that good at coloring. But I did warn you that I'm not good at coloring, so. But this is just proof that you don't have to be good at something to have fun doing it. It's not totally terrible. It's doing okay. I mean, it's not going to look blended, but We probably need to put one in between them. So, Candy says that Michael's is not going to sell chows anymore, and in some places in the US they're clearancing them for 97 cents. So that's COPIC's like budget marker, the chow. So if you want to experiment with COPICs, you can get them for the same price as these. Yeah, we're going to have to use the blender. Well, and I might not, and instead of using the blender, I might use, Renee says you have to use the blender to pull color to the lighter shade. Yes. And I might even use a marker in between the two of them if I can find it. So like, let me see what my BG colors are. Oh, they're all super dark. Great. So this is the one that I have. This one I already know doesn't work. Let's try 7. No, see, they're all, look how close they all are. That one might be okay, so that's a possibility. They're all so dark. They're all so dark. So this is, you know, this is partially what I get for not swatching them first. You know, I mean, I guess I could take some responsibility for this. But I'm also going to make a slight complaint, which is that the blue-gray is BG and the blue-green is BG as well. So, like, that's a blue-gray. It was not so easy to tell. All right, there we go. It's getting better. I mean, does it look good? No. Did I promise you wouldn't learn anything? Yes. All right. So we're done. I like watercolor because I feel like it's much more forgiving. Because you can kind of like erase it a little bit by pulling it up with more water. I'm going to give up on the background a little bit. Okay. So yeah, we've done, you know, sort of what we can with the this does have a colorless blender too, by the way. That does come with one. So, all right. Let's see. What are we going to see? It's now, like, because I'm just using so much ink, it's all pooling through the paper. I like watercolor, especially Derwent. Yeah, watercolor is kind of more where my comfort zone is. I have Copics because, like, I did a die card club where we colored each month. The sloth is still smiling, so it can't be too bad. Well, I'm having fun, which is really all that matters. I mean, I hope you guys are also having fun, but you know what? That's why it's like it's color to relax. You know, you're not necessarily trying to make masterpieces here. All right. So we're going to move on from the background. Let's see if I can do this sloth. And let me open up the skin tone pack. All right, so this is YR95 from the skin tone set. So let's warm it up, maybe, if I can get. All right, let me just let them start bleeding into each other a little bit and then work on blending. Blending. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right. Yeah, pencils that you can use with water, like watercolors, are great. I've always liked watercolor, and also just you can just take your Tim Holtz distress ink pads, and you can stamp them off on an ink pad. And just wet those with water and use them. And you can use those as watercolor because it's a water-based ink. So if you want to experiment with coloring with water, that's a way to do it. Or stamp it on your mat even. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right, so we want YR like a nice, something for his face. Sloths, I think sloths and llamas are equally the thing. If you're the kind of person, you know, I think most people who like sloths also like llamas. I don't think it's like a, I don't think it's an exclusive, like people who liked llamas are now into sloths. Because this book has a sloth and a llama. So I think you can be a sloth person and a llama person. Which one of these is the light one? Rawr. This is what I get for not labeling them all. Really light sort of yellow is what I need. Like a really light yellow. Am I gonna get a really light yellow? Is that a thing that exists in my life? No, gonna have to use pink, I think. Okay. All right, we've got our little sloth. Let's do purple flowers. Oh, you do? Okay, so let's do some kind of purple flowers here. Because I don't see purple flowers. I don't see purple that much in crafting. All right. Yeah, alcohol markers bleed. That's true. We started watching Queen of the South. That's kind of like, you know, you have to be willing to hate everyone. You know, like everyone sucks kind of deal. And just agree that some people are like worse than others. So there's some bad guys that you want to lose, you know, more than others. So library cards for fees are I'm getting a question that I mentioned one last week. I did. I mentioned a few. Value is going to depend on what you want. The cheapest one that I know of is the Fairfax County Public Library. That's Fairfax County, Virginia. That one's $27 a month. Allison says, sloths are just so happy and chilled out and adorable. I've never seen a grumpy sloth. Yeah, exactly. They're all ready to go. It's probably what happens when you get to nap most of the day. You get to be happy and chilled out. All right, we're doing okay. I mean, the background was a fail, but whatever. You know, we're doing all right. Our sloth is pretty cute, you know. He's okay. I think I pulled all these except for R21. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find a way to like have them all together. Or maybe, yeah. No, I know. R18. Okay. What color should we make our letters? What color should we make our cup? What are we gonna do? My son is napping a lot through this lockdown and he's still grumpy. Let's make a yellow cup. Like a kind of goldenrod. Yeah, see, look at the difference on the caps, and then that's these two colors right here. So this is one where you'd want to sit down and swatch them all when you first get them, because you're not going to be able to tell based on their caps how they are in terms of. Okay, you want to do, let's do, all right. You want to do the love, like a love colored. Now we just have to find a pink. So coloring, but yeah, coloring, you could get watercolor pencils and color with those. You just put the color where you want it, and then you use water to blend it all together at the end. All right, let's see. I still haven't found something to go with my yellow here. Ugh, gross. Maybe our cup won't be yellow. Oh, there we go. Oops, I don't know about this. Ah, I'm gonna ruin it again. See, that was supposed to be my light yellow, but like I don't have a light yellow, so I don't know what we're gonna do here. I think we may be in big trouble with the cup. Unless, you know what, we're just gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll with it. Was that, yeah. This will be the main cup color. And we'll use this one to darken it. Where we need to darken it. All right. Ay. This is going to take 5,000 years. But what can you do? What can you do when you're bad at coloring, you know? Just gotta relax and say, I'm bad at coloring, but I have fun coloring, so who cares? It's not like Fran is gonna look at the back of it. Funny. So, yeah. As with all crafting, coloring takes longer than we think it should. Seriously, it definitely does. Renee says, when I mess up with blending, I add tiny dots of the same shade. Oh, that's a good idea. I've always wanted to get better at markers, but I also then like don't color with markers that much because I'm not that good at it. In terms of like on my projects, you know, because I'm much better with just ink watered down than I am with a marker. So maybe I just need to make myself sit down and color all the time. You know? All right, so I'm gonna get our cup looking okay. Our goal is to get it okay. We're not gonna worry about the background. That's a lost cause. Just trying to be fast now. Because I've been coloring with these markers long enough that I've got some of the issues. One is I do think they bleed more than the COPICs, even though this paper is pretty prone to bleeding. What we can do is we can test it on this book, which has coated paper, side by side. I do think that this color is working well for the cup. I'm happy with it, and we can darken it up. I thought it was going to be too dark, but it's not too bad. So we can, you know, we can add shading with a darker yellow. Thank you, Allison. All right. So yeah, we definitely, let me just finish. So at least the cup is finished. All right. Okay. But, so the first is the bleeding. I do think they bleed more than COPICs. Like I said, we'll test them side by side on this book, which has coated paper. Or actually, I have marker paper. We'll test them on marker paper to be 100% fair. And what I'll do is, in fact, let me just do it right now. I'm going to grab a sheet of marker paper, and I'm going to stamp just the favorite photo stamp with the Memento Tuxedo Black, which is hopefully not dried out. I think it is dried out. It's good enough. I'm going to stamp this, and we'll see how later on we'll do color in the heart. You know, we'll do one with a red Copic and one with a red whatever. We'll see which one bleeds more. And let me just mark Copic, Ohuhu. All right, and I'm going to set this aside to dry. And while I'm finishing this, that'll dry. All right, bring the cup back. Maybe I should finish the background and not be a whiny baby. You know? Should I just have the courage of my convictions and finish my background? Nah, thanks. Thanks for letting me off the hook. You get the gold star for today's chat. Okay. Oh, wow. Whoops. Okay, so let's take a darker gold and create some shadows with it. All right, so I'll use this darker gold to create some shadows. All right, just want to... Did I buy all the colors that exist of the Ohuhu? I bought the 120 pack and the skin tone pack. So I don't know if that is all the colors that exist. It may be. But I think they have more colors than that. All right, so there we go. So that's the cup. All right, let's finish. I'm just gonna use the same colors that I used for the love for espresso. Oh, Judy is on the 3rd flip-flop book. So Judy's reading all the flip-flops. And they're all very different, she says. You think this great work of art should be a prize in the next giveaway? Maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll start giving away my crappy arts. I did give away once sketches of your family, and they were all stick figures. That was way long ago. I don't remember. If you were here when I did that, I did do original sketches of your family, and they were all stick figures. And they had like, the girl ones had bows on them, and the you know, like it was, that's what it, and then I wrote the people's names beneath them. I think maybe Annette got those. I mean, this was years ago. And it was because I had just done a book of my family, but I didn't have any photos printed out, so I just drew stick figures to represent all my family members in the book. Allison got, or no, Alligator Book got a dragonfly with a Faber-Castell set. Was it a good dragonfly? Or was, oh no, it wasn't. It was the like deranged, horrible dragonfly. I remember that. Oh my gosh. It was the like, that dragonfly needed so much help. I remember it now. Oh my gosh, hilarious. That's me. I've been nailing prizes for years. It had like crazy eyes. Yeah, that was another Kathryn Scraps original. Or Kathryn Scraps original. Oh man, yeah. Our book is a mystery. I thought it seemed murder mystery-ish from the description. I was actually thinking about making next month like cozy mysteries instead of classical fiction. I'm just coloring the background while I try and figure out what colors I want to make the rest of the cup letters. I think the background is growing on me. in the sense that, you know, I don't love it, but I don't hate it as much as I did before. So the blue background is it's coming along. All right, there we go. We've got a background now. It's okay. All right. So we're gonna do the lid next. And I'm gonna use a warm grays. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the warm grays that I have. No, I'm going to use blue grays. Just kidding. I'm going to use blue grays. And I'm going to just see what I've got. 3, 3, and this is 9. Okay. So I'm just going to do the cup lid with this cool gray. This I'm going to do, yeah, the whole lid with the cool gray. Again, this is one of those things where very few things in nature are white, very few things in nature are black. So usually when you're coloring, using a dark gray for black and a light gray for white can work really well. There we go. All right. Now, let's see. What to do for I Can't Espresso How Much I Love You. All right, let's do a... Gonna do blue for the espresso. All right, now how much? Let's do I Can't, and you will do purple. And maybe we'll do like more magenta than purple. Okay. No classical fiction. You couldn't finish Caesar. All right. Maybe we should just not try to learn stuff, you know. We can just read light and fluffy books for the rest of the year. All right, that worked okay. Let's do it again. with the U. Yeah, you could try the smaller sets. Yeah, if you're curious about the Ohuhu markers, get like a small set and see how you like them. Summer is just too hot. Candy says, we learn something from you every week. We don't want our brains too full. And Pat said, summer's too hot for heavy books. All right. All right. So now we just need how much. That just needs a color. I'll just do purple again. I like how the purple looks. Hi, May. Well, you're not late because it's a surprise show. So whenever you get here is the right time. All right, we did it. We colored a whole page. Ta-da! We colored a whole page. We made it all the way through. The background, you know, is I think our weakest point. But I think we're doing all right. I think we're doing all right. So this is our other page that we have to do with the COPICs. Unless you want to skip the COPICs and do a side-by-side comparison. Actually, it doesn't look totally terrible. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. All right. All right, so let's go to the side-by-side. Yeah, people who can do large spaces with like backgrounds have my okay, let's do a heart. So let's do, and I'm gonna blend it until I'm happy with it. Judy, I finally bought French curves. I finally remembered. All right, so we use 2 colors, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find the COPICs closest to these that I have. All right, let's see. I think RV25. Oof, mine's empty. Oh, come on. Really? I think it's the right color too, but it's empty. So that's annoying. Yeah, I'm testing out markers. We may have to just go with red, lipstick red, and okay. Okay, I'm going to use these two. All right. Okay. Oh, hey, Tiny. You coming out? You coming out to say hi? All right, I'm going to set this. Hey, buddy. Hi. Ooh. Gonna stretch? Yep, stretching. Yeah, the desk is messy. The desk is messy. She's like, I can't walk. All right, I'm gonna try and zoom in on this. She's like, what is happening? So that was her coming out of her new there we go. Okay, I think we've got it. Yeah, you keep yours. You keep yours because they were dusty. Oh no. Yeah, I literally just bought them yesterday. So, I mean, now it's way zoomed in. All right, so it's way zoomed in. Okay, now we can see side by side the COPIC versus the Ohuhu. Now, one thing I want to point out is it looks like right here the COPIC got out of the lines a lot. That was more like incompetence on my part. You can see how on the side on this side it didn't bleed at all. This side I saw myself get out of the lines, so this is me being bad at coloring. But you see here there's nothing outside the lines. That's more typical of the COPIC. The Ohuhu, on the other hand, I will say some of this bleeding is down to the marker, but you will see that when we're using them on marker paper, they don't really bleed that much at all either. So, yeah. I do think the blending's a little better on the COPIC than on the Ohuhu. Like I said, I really struggled to get rid of any kind of harsh lines. You can see right there that there's like more of a line from the red where the red didn't quite blend, but it's not like it's bad at blending. So, you know, it's still good at blending. So it still was able to be blended. No trouble, really. And while it bled like a teensy scooch more than the Copic, I don't think it really bled. Like, I wouldn't say, oh, these markers bleed a lot, you know. So what I would say also is that just in person, the Copic does look a little bit better, but the Ohuhu does not look bad. You know, so again, this is an $8 marker. This is a $1 marker. So, does this look 8 times better? You know? Monica's saying I might try these instead of Spectrum Noir because of the price point. That's a good point. Like, if you're using inexpensive markers already, like Spectrum Noir, and these did beat Spectrum Noir in the video that I watched, and as someone who's colored with Spectrum Noir and who's colored with these, I would say I probably like these better than Spectrum Noir. For sure. Like, Spectrum Noir, for starters, has the problem with you have to switch to brush nibs because they don't, at least when I was using them, they didn't come with brush nibs. I don't have my Spectrum Noir markers anymore. I gave them away to a school. So I can't do a side-by-side versus Spectrum Noir. And of course, people in the chat, they're saying you're not going to be coloring with them side by side. Side by side, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And Ohuhu would look just fine. Like, this would look fine if it wasn't next to this, which looks better, you know. Renee says she gave away her Spectrum Noir too. Yeah. So what the bottom line is, I would say, is, and let me pull in now, since we have a close-up, I'm going to pull in the leaves so you can see a close-up of the leaves and how much the leaves bled. All right, so we've got Copic on the left and Ohuhu on the right. So again, you can see with the blending that this is Copic, this is Ohuhu. You can see that we have bleeding on both of them, and that's because of the paper, that we have less bleeding on the Copic than we do on the Ohuhu, and that there's better blending on the Copic than on the Ohuhu, but neither of them, like the Ohuhu doesn't look bad. Did they compare the Nouveau markers? You know, I skipped like the majority of the video and I went all the way to the final 8, and the Nouveau were not in the final 8. Neither were Spectrum Noir, actually. They didn't make it that far. There were some big names that didn't make it as far as you would think, like Prismacolor didn't make it very far either. So again, here you see, you know, is the blending better over here? Yes. Better blending with less bleeding. But, you know, is it the end of the world? No. Like, I mean, this is really, now you can see up close how bad my coloring is. My takeaway is that paper is more important than marker. Absolutely. In terms of blending and bleeding, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Because this is marker paper. This is the Spectrum Noir paper. So this is definitely paper that was made for markers. Spectrum Noir's paper is fantastic. I love their paper. So, yeah, so what I'll say is, if you just want to like experiment with alcohol markers and maybe like do some adult coloring books to like chillax, and you don't have anything at all, then I think these would be a great start. I think that these would be a, oh, hiccups. I think that these would be a great start. So, and they, I put links in the video description to the sets that I used, but they have other sets, like they have a 48, they have a 72. You know, you don't have to buy the full set. But they're right about $1 a marker. So, yeah. I mean, they're really surprising quality. As someone who's used the Kaisercraft markers, which I did not like at all, and the Spectrum Noir, I do like them better than both of those. Like, if I'm comparing the Ohuhu marker and where it lands, it definitely lands closer to Copic than it lands to Spectrum Noir or Kaisercraft. If they even still make markers, I don't remember. Yeah, so if you have Copics, do you need these? No, you don't. Don't buy them. You know, you don't need them. Not really. But if you have Copics and you have someone like a younger person who wants to color with you, but you don't want to give $8 markers to a younger person, but you want to start teaching them how to do this kind of coloring, this might be a good option. So this might be a good option. You know, you do need to swatch them because their colors are not like their cap colors are not representative of the colors that they are in reality. So that's definitely something that you will need to do. You will need to do swatches. You can't just look at the cap and go. But that's not the end of the world. A lot of people swatch their Copics too. So, you know, even though their lids are pretty accurate because they want to know exactly what it looks like on the paper that they use the most. So, you know, swatching's not unheard of and it's not the end of the world. Copic give you a headache. Oh, like from the fumes? Alright, so now you can see my messy coloring. Look, no one looks this closely, okay? No one looks this closely. Alright, let me zoom out. Alright. It's an impressionistic, yeah. Pear Tree Treasures for the Copic holder. Pear Tree Treasures for the Copic holder. It's impressionistic, exactly. It's exactly, that's what it is. Monica Partridge, who's in the chat, she makes them. Get it? Because it's a partridge in a pear tree. Do you get it? You get it? So she's I guess we all know what her favorite day of Christmas is. But yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. They're not bad. In fact, they're good. I'll say they're good. You know, they're good. Not only are they not bad, but they're definitely solidly not bad, but they're good. They perform really well. And I think on nicer paper we would have gotten something really nice. So, I think what I would do personally, what I might do is I might just scan all of the remaining sheets in my book so that I can print them on stamp paper, on marker paper, before I go and color some more. However, I don't hate what we did. I don't hate what we did. The link to the markers is in the video description. So, or do you mean the link to Monica's holder? But yeah, I managed to put all the links in the video description today. So, but yeah, it's Ohuhu. You can go on, just go on. You can. Let me see if I can get a link. Monica's posting the link on Facebook, so I'll get the link in the chat for Monica's holder, and then I'll post in the chat as well from the video description. All the different links. But yeah. Okay, here's the Ohuhu markers first. But like I said, you can, if you're watching on mobile and you don't see the video description, then you can always switch between the chat and the video description and you can see, but I posted it in the chat. And then, let me go to Facebook and grab Monica's link and post it in the chat. And I'll put it in the video description as well, so it'll be there on the recording. Facebook. And there is a link to the Facebook group as well. So, oh, I'm faster than Monica. She hasn't done it yet. Monica! Where are you? Wow, wow, Monica. Everyone's like, wow. Monica is too slow. All right, let's see if I can find it faster than she can post it. All right. Okay, found her website. Now the question is, can I find the thingy? Maybe, is there a searcher? No, there's not a searcher. Maybe it's in stamps, dies, and embossing. What do you guys think? Or in tools, trimmers, and die cuts? No. There is not a searcher. Of course not. Is it not there? Why? I can't find it. Is there a searcher? Okay. There's no searcher. Oh, there's a searcher. I found the searcher, guys. There is a searcher. It's just like way off to the side. It's in a weird spot. Okay. Marker holder. Okay. Let's see. I searched for marker holder and markers are coming up, but no marker holder. All right, let's go back to Facebook and see if Monica's got it. Let me Google Pear Tree Treasures COPIC holder. Nope. I mean, this is a Google failure. It's not a... Now my Facebook group won't load. It's like, it's not even letting me look at the Facebook group because it doesn't want Monica to win. Like, it doesn't want Monica to be able to post her link. Why is it gone? So I thought it was called the marker thingy. Oh, is that my problem? I'm not searching for it. Okay, let me just search for marker and see if it comes up. Sort by, let's sort by price high to low. It's probably more expensive than markers, right? No, it's not. It's not on here. It's not on here. But stencils are on here, so there's that. Let me just search for the word Copic in case it's under Copic holder. No. Just so you know, Monica just opened her official store. So growing pains, everyone. So she's moving to a official store. So I'm sure she'll find a link. If not, just go yell at her on Facebook. Just be like, Monica, I want to buy your marker thing, but you're making it so hard. You know? And call it the marker thing. Monica says, my belly hurts. Good thing I can laugh about it. Epic failure. Aww. Marker thingy. Look for marker thingy. Alright, I'll Google thingy and see what happens. In Canada, do you guys spell thingy with a Y or an IE? Well, there's nothing under thingy with a Y, so maybe it's an IE. Nope. Not there either. Well, eventually I'm sure it'll be in the store under Copic marker thingy. So, but Pear Tree Treasures, that's what it is. I'm going to put the link to her store so that, you know, you can at least contact her and tell her you want one. And she said she's going to correct it and add it to the store. So maybe later it will be there. But yeah, so there you go. So if you want a Copic marker thingy, I'll put it in the video description. Let's see. I'll just put it under Pear Tree Treasures, and then hopefully marker holder, and I'll put her website. And if it's not in there, you know, hopefully it'll be there by the time this is posted. Okay. All right. So, I think I'm done for now, but here's our sloth on our coffee cup. Alligator Book, she lives near the border, so I believe when the border opens up, it can have USA shipping. Monica, you can correct me if that's incorrect. But once the border between them are open, I think between us and Canada are open, I think she can offer US shipping. Yeah. Okay, so she says she'll have USA shipping for sure. Okay. So yeah. So it would be US shipping if you're in the US. All right. Well, I had fun hanging out with you. It was a nice relaxing afternoon, just coloring stuff, being somewhat mediocre about coloring. Oh, and she says the prices on her website are in Canadian money. So keep the exchange in mind, US people. So you'll have to do the maths. You'll have to do the maths, but just know it'll cost less than what the website shows, because that's the Canadian. It's Canadian dollar on the website. All right, everyone. I will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. USA time. Not USA time, because USA has multiple times. 2 p.m. Eastern USA time. The East Coast, Miami, New York, DC, 2 p.m. Eastern USA time. I'll be back. And also at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time, we're going to be continuing the Catch a Tag Remastered album. So yeah, here are the Ohuhu markers. I don't know what we discovered other than someone who's kind of mediocre at coloring was able to use these markers to make a kind of mediocre drawing. So with that being said, yeah, if you're kind of mediocre at coloring or haven't tried coloring, go ahead and start with these. You know, you don't have to start with Copics if you want to get into alcohol markers. I think this would be a good starting set. So yeah, check them out if you're interested, if you've been thinking about getting into coloring with these kind of markers. And yeah, also make sure you scan your coloring books and put them on marker paper so that they don't become a sloppy, impressionistic Monet of a drawing. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you learned something. If not, I promised you wouldn't. So, I mean, you got, as advertised. So have a great afternoon, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.